Hegel's Philosophy of Nature, Chapter 2. Matter and Motion. Finite Mechanics. Gravity. Paragraph 262. Matter maintains itself against its self-identity and in a state of extrinsicality through its moment of negativity, its abstract singularization, and it is this that constitutes the repulsion of matter. As these different singularities are one and the same, however, the negative unity of the juxtaposed being of this being for self is just as essential and constitutes their attraction or the continuity of matter. Matter is inseparable from both these moments and constitutes their negative unity, that is, singularity. This is, however, still distinct from the immediate extrinsicality of matter, and is therefore not yet posited as being a centre, a material singularity of an ideal nature, that is, gravity. Remark. It is to be regarded as one of the many merits of Kant that in his metaphysical foundations of natural science he made an attempt at a so-called construction of matter, and by establishing a notion of matter revived the concept of a philosophy of nature. In so doing, however, he postulated the reflective determinations of the forces of attraction and repulsion as being firmly opposed to and independent of one another, and although matter had to be derived from them, assumed it to be complete in itself, and therefore that which is to be attracted and repelled is already fully constituted matter. I have dealt more fully with the fundamental flaw in this Kantian exposition in my Science of Logic. It should be noted, moreover, that weighted matter is the first totality and real nature in which attraction and repulsion can occur. It has the ideal nature of the moments of the notion of singularity or subjectivity. Consequently, they are not to be regarded as independent or as self-contained forces. It is only as moments of the notion that they result in matter, although matter is, however, the presupposition of their appearance. It is essential to distinguish gravity from mere attraction, which is simply the general sublation of juxtaposition, and yields nothing but continuity. Gravity, on the other hand, is the reduction of juxtaposed and yet continuous particularity into unity, into negative relation to self, singularity, a single subjectivity, which is, however, still quite abstract. In the sphere of the primary immediacy of nature, the self-external being of continuity is still posited as subsistent, however. Material introflexion first occurs in physics, and although singularity is therefore certainly present here as a determination of the idea, it is external to material being. Consequently, the primary essence of matter is that it has weight. This is not an external property which may be separated from it. Gravity constitutes the substantiality of matter, which itself consists of a tendency towards a centre which falls outside it. It is, however, this externality of its centre which constitutes the other essential determination of matter. As it negates its juxtaposed and continuous subsistence, one can say that matter is attracted to the centre. But if the centre itself is thought of as material, the attraction is merely reciprocal, and is at the same time a being attracted, so that the centre is again different from them both. The centre should not be thought of as a material, however, for the precise nature of material being is that it posits its centre as external to itself. It is therefore not the centre, but the tendency towards the centre, which is immanent in matter. Gravity is, so to speak, the acknowledgement of matter of its lack of independence, its state of contradiction, of the nullity of the self-externality involved in its being for self. It can also be said that gravity is the being in self of matter insofar as it is not yet in its own self a centre or subjectivity, but is still indeterminate, undeveloped, occludent, and lacking as yet in material form. Where the centre lies is determined by means of the weighted matter of which it is the centre. Insofar as it is mass, it is determined, and is therefore its tendency, which is consequently a determinate positing of the centre. Addition. Matter is spatial separation. By offering resistance, it repels itself from itself, and so constitutes repulsion, through which it posits its reality and fills space. The singularities which are repelled from another all merely constitute a unity of many units. They are identical with each other. The unit only repels itself from itself, and it is this which constitutes the sublation of the separation of being for self or attraction. Together, attraction and repulsion constitute gravity, which is the notion of matter. Gravity is the predicate of matter which constitutes the substance of this subject. Its unity is a mere should, a yearning. This is the most afflicted of efforts, and matter is damned to it eternally, for the unity does not fulfill itself and is never reached. If matter reached what it aspires to in gravity, it would fuse together into a single point. It is because repulsion is as essential a moment as attraction that unity is not attained here. The subdued crepuscular unity does not become free. Yet since matter has its determination, the positing of the many within a unit, it is not so thick as those would-be philosophers who separate the one from the many, and are therefore refuted by matter. Although the two unities of repulsion and attraction are the inseparable moments of gravity, they do not unite themselves in a single unity of an ideal nature. As we shall see later, this unity reaches the first being for self of its existence in light. Matter searches for a place outside the many, and since there is no difference between the factors which do this, there is no reason for regarding one as nearer than the other. They are at the same distance on the periphery, and the point sought is the centre. This extends to all dimensions, so that the next determination reaches the sphere. Gravity is not the dead externality of matter, but a mode of its inwardness. At this juncture, the inwardness has no place here, however, for matter as the notion of that which is notionless is still lacking in inwardness. The second sphere which we now have to consider is therefore finite mechanics, in which matter is not yet adequate to its notion. This finitude of matter is the differentiated being of motion and of matter as such. Matter is therefore finite insofar as the motion which is its life is external to it. Either the body is at rest or motion is imparted to it from without. This is the primary difference within matter as such, which is subsequently sublated through its nature or gravity. Here, therefore, we have the three determinations of finite mechanics. Firstly, inert matter, secondly, impact, and thirdly, fall. This constitutes the transition to absolute mechanics, in which the existence of matter is also adequate to its notion. Gravity does not occur within matter in a merely implicit manner, but insofar as its implicitness already makes its appearance. In that it does this, it constitutes fall, which is therefore the first occurrence of gravity.